Hello again. This is Dominic Maldonado, joined by Omar A. Torres. We have a very special treat for you people. Just going to go out there and say it. For those of you looking forward to the next Star Wars episode featuring Childish Gambino, a.k.a. Donald Glover, a native Stone Mountain ATLian, you're in luck because we have some great fandom for you.
Yes. So, hello everyone. We're going to be talking about Star Wars, the universe, all the many films that have come out of that, and the very lucrative Disney property. Yeah, I remember when that happened. Did you?
Fun fact, not only did it happen in our lifetime, Star Wars has spanned damn near every decade that probably every listener is even listening to right now. Hell, I have a kid, and Star Wars was around before I was, and it gets its own museum. And, fun fact, Omar A. Torres has watched every single one of them this month. So, tell us a little bit about the universe.
Yeah, so in the cinematic universe, there are a couple films that don't get talked about too often, and we are also not going to talk about those films. Like the Clone Wars animated film, and I think there was some like Christmas special or something like that.
I don't even think they have Christmas in a distant galaxy far, far away. So hell no, that doesn't count.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about the
Christ died for our sins, not for their Jedi sins.
Yeah, so we'll talk about these 7 main films that are out right now, and include Rogue One.
8.
And include Rogue One.
Okay.
The spin-off solo movie.
Woo!
By Ryan.
Gunshot.
No, who was it? It was Gareth Edwards. One of those. He also did the
spell check.
Yeah, right. He did another movie for Legendary that wasn't received too well. I think it was Godzilla.
Is it Legendary is the one that's partnered with in China?
Yeah.
By the way, as soon as me and Omar get our money and careers together, we're gonna go to China.
Yeah.
And we're gonna make money and movies, and we're gonna teach English. You motherfuckers just watch or just listen, whichever is more accessible.
Right. So I recently watched all those films because my girlfriend had never seen any of the films. So,
blasphemy.
Yeah, I know, right?
Heathen.
So we had to watch them all.
Did you start? Tell us the order. Did you start in the cinematic order with part 4? Or did you start in the chronological order with part 1?
See, that's the thing. And people will say different things. We started with episode 1.
Thank you. That's how you're supposed to do it. Why the
Right.
fuck would they call it 1 if you're not supposed to start there?
But here's the thing. If you watch episode 1 first and go through, then it spoils some things in 4 and 5 that you wouldn't think about. And then if you start in 4, 5, and 6, then you already know that Skywalker whole controversry and when you meet
his sister.
Yeah, and when you meet Anakin, then you're like, oh, that good motherfucker is going to be Darth Vader. When you start with 1, you don't know that he's going to be Darth Vader unless you've listened to podcasts like this that spoil it.
Yeah. They've all been released, like, down to the Netflix level at this point. If you motherfuckers haven't watched them by now,
yeah,
like, that means you can't even afford the $100 Cody. So
yeah, so she didn't know that he was going to be Darth Vader later on. So
nobody knew.
She was able to kind of suspect, like in the third film, oh, he's evil. Oh, he's not, whatever. But
it's the part when he killed all the kids that really gave it away.
No, she didn't even know then. She was like, oh, that's not good at all. Yeah. Well, actually, I mean, she knew he was evil at that point because at that point he had already changed. He had already gone to the dark side when he did that.
When he had yellow eyes.
But when he killed all the people because of his mom for revenge, she was like, oh my gosh, that's not good. But I don't think she knew he was going to be...
I think anybody with Jedi powers has a tendency to be evil. Because, motherfucker, you give me a lightsaber and telepathic powers...
Yeah.
I'm liable to unleash some shit.
Yeah, so let's talk about the reality of this, because there's something I read that was talking about like how bad the Jedi are, and like why Jedi are really.
But the Jedi is supposed to be the Democrats, and everybody else, right? They're the Republicans, right? That's why they have red, and the Jedis have blue.
Well, not necessarily, because here's the thing: Jedi's are part of this council, right? And their whole thing is like, oh, we're for justice, and we want to make peace and everything.
Ambassadors, yeah.
But they're essentially like like nuns or like the men
Clergy.
of faith, yeah, because they're not supposed to have relationships. They're not supposed to they're not supposed to feel really anything. They're just supposed to go and do their job. They're like
families.
They're like
cloth.
They're basically what is it called? What Boba Fett is.
Mercenary.
They're basically like mercenaries, except without emotion. So they want peace, but they say for us to ensure peace, we can't have feelings. We can't have this. We can't have that, and that allows them to be open to everything. When in reality, if we were to try and I'm sure most everybody in the world, if we were to try and learn this force power, and go out and do things, we would probably be Sith, because we use our emotions so much to guide us. And we always talk about gut feeling and things like that. We use those things to help motivate us and drive us to do what it is that we're going to be doing. And that's a Sith trait. That's essentially what the Sith are. They use their emotion, and the
Jedi are supposed to use their mind, I suppose.
They're supposed to...
The most logical path of least resistance and
they're just
less aggression.
They're looking at themselves and saying, I'm going to separate myself.
It's almost like Malcolm X versus MLK.
Yeah.
MLK being, I guess, the Jedi principle of, means justify the ends, and then Malcolm X, ends justifies the means.
Right.
And they both want the same thing, peace. And you could argue that's what the Sith wants also, is, universal galactic peace.
Right.
But how they go about it is very different. One of them was going to say, I'm going to blow up your fucking planet. That'll make it nice and peaceful.
Yeah.
And the other one says, I'll just sit here and politic for a few thousand years.
Yeah. And that's one thing I feel is a huge difference between the 4 through 6 and the 1 through 3. And everybody hates, or all the Star Wars fanatics are like 1 through 3 is shitty, whatever.
I like 1 through 3.
Yeah. But for me, 1 through 3 is a good story of like it's not just like these people are evil or whatever. The senator in 1 through 3 is attempting to create a place that he can control and make peace for himself and this and that. And the Jedi are just on the wrong side of that for him. And
he himself happens to be a Sith.
Yeah.
A very powerful, telepathic individual himself. So why the fuck didn't Yoda come through and just kill all the shit? Like, oh, this is getting out of control. Let me fuck these boys up.
He didn't know, because the Emperor or Senator Palpatine, he's a Sith master. He's the Sith Lord. Or more than the Sith Lord. He's the ruler, or the main Sith member. And
if you had to equate him to a politician in reality, whom would this senator be? Senator, was it Palpatine?
Senator Palpatine, yeah.
Whom is Senator Palpatine in reality?
Nobody. Because
who is that old wrinkly bastard? Tell me who he is.
No, because Senator Palpatine, the Emperor, he was smart, and he was able to control his power, and he's like Trump in the way that
I fucking knew it.
In the way that he's able to control other people and bend their minds to his will and get them to believe that he's doing it for their benefit, but he has an ability that's unlike anything that I think we have in the world, where he actually believes like
something dark side.
Yeah, like he's gonna make this world better for him, for like his people and whatever. He's not just a bad guy.
It's all fucking just thunderstorms and lightning and shit. The
Yeah.
fucker shoots lightning. You know how long it took Aang, a fucking airbender, to learn that shit? This motherfucker just...
And he has patience, and he has rhetoric,
I am an
which is
impatient motherfucker.
which is not in the White House right now.
That's not in anybody's motherfucking house. Nobody's patient. That is not an American trait.
Yeah,
That's some UK shit.
yeah,
Let's wait a few thousand years. Scotland will come around.
yeah. So, okay, let's talk about some more reality aspects of these.
Yeah, so I mean, so we have the 1 through 3. We had Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon Jinn. Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Or just Ben Kenobi.
Ooh, my man Ben. Uncle Ben. Then we had... Well, Anakin, I guess, was played by three different actors. When you think about the whole history of Vader and Anakin.
Yeah, when he's Vader, he's played by one guy, and then they show another guy, and then they have James Earl Jones as the voice.
That's nuts.
So the main guy, the guy that you see at the end, that white guy, they pull off the head, and there was a different guy playing Vader the entire time. There's actually a documentary about it.
So that was the double versus the on-screen actor.
Right.
Damn.
The on-screen actor, there's a documentary about this guy, and he goes to cons and stuff like that. People know his name. I don't remember it.
Except the guy with the film degree.
I don't remember his name, but he goes to cons and stuff, and he was saying in the documentary that they didn't even they were shooting that scene, and nobody told him about it.
Damn, that's some Sith Lord shit to do, man.
Yeah, they were just like, he doesn't have the right look that we need, so let's just tell him to go somewhere else.
A bunch of makeup? You can't put a bunch of fucking makeup on me?
Yeah, they were doing revolutionary like graphics and stuff like that with the lightsabers and the miniatures and everything for the movies, but they couldn't put makeup on the guy.
We blew all the budget. We blew all the budget on everything. I swear to God, if we could have hired you with the makeup, we would have. But the other guy wasn't no makeup. He literally just looked like that.
Yeah. Was it? I think it's Mayhew, Peter Mayhew.
Was
that someone else? That might be someone else.
It sounds like a letterbox question.
Yeah, I don't remember. Somebody out there will
definitely correct us.
Tweet me and be like,
spell check. But yeah, so we see the evolution of Anakin and Vader. I'd say he is obviously the most interesting character because he's the only consistent one that we see in all the films. Mm-hmm. Everybody else kind of comes and goes around him.
Yeah.
Let's see who else. Now, my favorite film, obviously, as I mentioned to you before, aforementioned, as they say in rhetoric, is Rogue One. I really love the CG, the visual, the cinema. I like the score, and I like knowing that a little bit the ending. Mm-hmm. And I was very, very interested in the whole story in the middle, that they took this little spin-off idea and then that they remastered the digital archive film, then preserved it and brought it back together full circle. Kind of like this little table right here. And we got to re-experience episode, was it 4? Mm-hmm. And, in this more beautiful aspect, and follow these heroes that were just on this path to destruction. It was like, oh my God, that is fucking terrible. And it was like, and I heard there's like a lot more that spins out from it in the animated universe. And it's like, that to me was just so deep. And they had such a conflicted journey. And that's like, man, could I see myself doing that? You leave planet Jeddah and, you let the black man die, of course. And then you get to this other place just so you can like do this one more task. And okay, we're pretty much going to die. Why even bother the other shit? It's just like... Yeah, that shit was just so deep for me. It's like, man,
Yeah, I didn't know too much about that stuff, but if you guys are interested in behind the scenes stuff like that, like cool little tricks like